Are you starting to look for jobs in a particular area of law and you're finding yourself running into some walls or not really knowing where to start even? If that's you, I can help. If you haven't seen my videos before, my name is Alice. I'm one of the associate law school consultants with Montgomery Admissions Consulting, and I come to this work with almost a decade of law school admissions experience. Today, though, we're going to be focusing a lot more on my experience working with current students. One of the very best parts of being an admissions officer in law schools is that I was one of the very first people to get to know our new class of students, but I also had the opportunity to stay in touch with them as they progressed through their law school career, and I got to watch them grow. I made it a point every year that I worked in law schools to make sure that students knew when they came in, not only had I been there to help them throughout the application process, but I was still going to be a resource for them as they started law school. It may have been a while since I was a law student myself, but I have gone through the process, and I wanted them to know that I was there to help. If it was just needing a calm space to just kind of be, that was my office. If they wanted some candy, I almost always had candy. There was almost always music on in my office, so if they needed just a minute to jam out, I was that space for them. And in turn, I got to watch them grow from a front row seat. And one of the big steps, one of the huge milestones in a law student's career is looking for that first job, is looking for that second job, is finding what it is that you want to do when you finish law school. You've heard it before, the first year curriculum is pretty much the same. That's not really where you figure out what it is you want to do. You're going to get a lot of foundational things, you're going to get a lot of things that you're going to build on afterwards. But when you get into your second and third year, you're going to start to specialize down into the areas that are interesting to you. If you come in and you know what you want to do, that's fine. Many people do. Just as many people come in with an idea and then they change their mind entirely. That was me. I did that. Other thing is that you may come in with no idea. You just want to be a lawyer, but you're not sure what kind yet. That's okay too. You have chances to figure out what it is you want to do, and once you've identified that, even if it's just kind of a broad, couple of things are interesting to me, those are the things where I want to spend my time, where I want to practice. You have the space to figure that out. And there are people and places and things in the law school that you have access to that are going to help you really drill down into the thing it is that you want to do. So you can find out more about what that job actually looks like. You can find out where it is you need to look for jobs in that area. All of those things are at your disposal as a law student. And I'm going to tell you a couple of different ways and a couple of different places that you can find them. So the very first place that I have to mention, I'm not going to spend a ton of time here because you should know all about it already, is your career services office. I know that one's obvious, but truly, they are a huge resource. The whole point of that office, the whole reason those people are there, are to help you find a job. They want to make sure that you are putting your best foot forward, that you are going into a place that is a good fit for you, and that you are a good fit for the place. They're going to give you chances to meet people that do the thing that it is you want to do. And that's the first piece of information in the career services office that I really want you to pay attention to. I want you watching that event calendar. Most law schools, most law school career services office are going to have networking events throughout the semester. Now, as a first semester law student, you may not be invited. That's okay. Don't be offended. You'll have your chance. But when it comes time for you to be on that invitation list, keep an eye on what those receptions are revolving around. For example, if you're really interested in being a litigator and there is a trial lawyers networking reception or just a straight up litigation networking reception, and they've pulled in litigators from all around the area, litigators with connections to your school to come in and be there for you to talk to, do it. Pick the brains of those people, figure out what it is that they do each day, make sure that it is the thing you want to do. The other thing that networking receptions provide is a chance for you to make a really great first impression. So when it comes time for them to come back and interview students, you may walk into your interview room and it's somebody that you had a great conversation with already. That can only help. The other thing that career services offices have access to that you may not realize are a variety of lists of alumni, of associated attorneys, people that are willing to help, willing to talk to students that may not be completely obvious on its face. You may need to do a little digging, except you don't have to. The career services office has already done it for you. So you walk in and you say, I'm really interested in tax law. They very likely have a list of attorneys that are close by and have expressed an interest in helping with the school that you can contact for an informational interview. You can listen to what it is that they do. You can talk to them about potential openings in their offices, what it is you need to do as a student to make sure that you will get a job upon graduation. These people are there for you, and the hard work has been done already. You don't have to go searching them out. Someone has made that list. They will share it with you. The next place that I want to go, and the next place that I want to make sure that you are paying attention to as a student, are your professors. I understand how intimidating it can be when you first walk into law school to strike up a conversation with a professor. Trust me, I was a little frightened the first couple of times I did it too. But I gotta tell you, folks that teach, particularly folks that teach in law school, do what they do because they want to help. They do what they do because they are excited to impart knowledge to you. Other thing that is very common is that professors are typically teaching in an area that's interesting to them. They have chosen their area to specialize in, and then they teach you all about it. Now, I'm guessing that you probably have a favorite topic in whatever it is, be it wine, be it books, be it food, be it TV shows, whatever it is, I'm guessing that that thing exists. And when you have the chance to talk about it, you just go on. You are hyped, you are ready to share everything that you know with the person that has given you that opening. Faculty members are no different. Professors will do the exact same thing. When you show that you have an interest in the area that they have dedicated their career to, they are going to be so excited to share information with you. And they have lots of it. First, there's a chance that they have written on it recently. And if not recently, they have definitely written on it at some point. So these folks know what's going on as far as the subject matter goes. They also very likely had a career before they became a faculty member. They can tell you what steps they took. They can walk you through the process that they made to get to where they are today. And if you don't want to teach, you just stop before they hit that faculty job. They also know other people doing this thing, and they are almost always happy to connect you. I say almost because you've got to do something here too, and that's not be a monster in their class. If you have been a terror to teach, they're probably not going to be as excited to help you. But if you pay attention, if you engage, you do the things that you really should be doing anyway in law school, so you learn the things that you are supposed to learn in law school, they will be thrilled to help. They will be excited to connect you with old classmates, with old colleagues. It doesn't even matter at the end of it if you want to practice. I had many faculty members that I had built relationships with throughout my time in law school, willing to send emails and sending emails, introducing me to colleagues that were administrators in law school. When I decided that I wanted to come back to higher education after I graduated and not practice, they were still so excited to help me, so excited to make connections for me. And they didn't have to do that. I wasn't going into their field, but they still did. And it was really helpful to be able to talk to administrators at other law schools, to talk to people doing the thing that I think it is I wanted to do in 10 years from that point. Granted, that's not where I ended up, but that's okay. I really like my career. I'm glad I'm here. I got to watch with my current students. There is nothing more exciting to me than when one of my students in their second or third year came bouncing into my office saying, "You are never going to guess. Professor Montgomery introduced me to this person that they used to work with, and they are sitting down with me, and they are this really cool thing. They have been doing this work for so long, and they seem super nice, and they can't wait to meet me, and I'm just really excited. And while they may not have a job opening right now, but they said they'd keep me in mind. Like, I'm just thrilled." That's usually about how fast it comes out, and I love every second of it. One of our business professors at my last law school, I want to say she connected probably 5 or 6 students a year with colleagues of hers at the Securities and Exchange Commission. She made those introductions for the students, and a fair amount of time, those eventually turned into jobs. May not have been immediate, but the connections that she made on behalf of our students helped those students get jobs later on. And they went into them with their eyes open, knowing exactly what it is they were walking into because they had a chance to talk to these people doing the thing. If you haven't guessed, there's a theme here, and it's talk to the people doing the thing. The other thing that you can lean on as a law student when you are trying to find specific interest area information, where you're going to find a job in the area that you're interested in, what you're going to do day to day, is your student organizations and your alumni network. Really, on the whole, lean on your networks. You joined those student organizations for a reason. Hopefully it was because you were interested in what the student organization was dedicating its time to. If not, I have other questions, but that's for another day. I want you to remember that you're putting your time and your energy into the student organization for a reason. Again, hopefully it's because you like the area that the organization is focused in, but there's something that you get back, and that's connection. Again, not only as a member of the organization do you have access to special events that your organization may be hosting, they may be partnering with another organization on campus, they may be leveraging all of their resources to bring in somebody that you may not be able to get access to on your own. If there is a super high-powered attorney in a particular field, one person reaching out from a law school may not work out. You may not get their attention. An entire student organization offering a lecture series, a lunch, and a meet and greet, something along those lines, that may be more attractive. I'm not saying don't try to reach out on your own, but still, there is a reason that you join these organizations, and this is one of those reasons, or it should be one of those reasons. On a smaller scale, there are people who used to be in your organization and are practicing, and there should be a list of those people somewhere that you should have access to as a member of that organization. Use it. Talk to those people. Find out what it is that they do in their day-to-day. Find out where it is that they found their first job. What was their path to where they are now? How can you emulate that? What advice do they have as you are going into the job search? Are there places that aren't immediately obvious that you can look? These people, these connections that you make now are going to give you all of that insider knowledge. And again, a lot of the time they're going to be really happy to help. I mentioned Alumni Network too. You graduated from somewhere. A lot of the time, college alumni are so hyped to help other college alumni. Those university families are big and they are strongly tied, truly, strongly tied. Ask anyone that has ever traveled through an airport with a flying WV on anything that they own. Other mountaineers will find you without fail. It does not matter where you are. I've seen it happen locally. I have seen it happen in other countries. I have seen it across the United States from West Virginia. They are everywhere and they are excited to see a fellow mountaineer. And I know that that's not the only school with an alumni network like that. It doesn't matter if they were a law school graduate. If your law school is attached to a larger institution and you happen to get connected with somebody that graduated from the business school or from the engineering school, they may know a lawyer. They may work with lawyers doing the thing that it is you want to do. And alumni like to help alumni. Alumni like to help current students. Think about it with me, and I do this. I'm certain at this point in time in your life, you have dealt with a homecoming, with an alumni weekend, one of those kind of events where everyone comes back to their alma mater. You get super nostalgic, you see old professors, you see the buildings where you lived, you get mad that they've been renovated and they look way nicer. You know how it goes. But as I'm telling you this story, are you getting a little warm fuzzy feeling right here? I do, for both my law school and my undergraduate. If I had a student that called me up or that emailed me out of the blue saying that they wanted to hear about things that I had done in my life, that they wanted to talk to me because they think they might want to do what it is I do, that warm fuzzy feeling just explodes. I'm so excited to share that information. We have a shared experience. We went to the same place for school. We remember the same hallways. We know the same dorms. We may have even had some of the same professors. And we can bond over that. But also they're interested in what I do. Just like those faculty members that are going to be super excited to share their experiences, their information, their knowledge with you. Any other alumni, it's just a nice feeling to hear from somebody that wants to know what it is that you do. That wants to know what it is that got you to where you are. You feel excited. You want to share that information. And as members of the same alumni family, again, whether it is college, whether it is law school, whether it is something like that, it does not matter what part of the educational journey that alumni relationship comes from, it's there and it means something, particularly to those older alumni. They love finding ways to give back that don't involve writing a check. Checks are great, don't get me wrong. We love alumni donations, but there's so much more that they can do and there's so much more that they get excited to do. Give them the chance. Maybe somebody that graduated from your college a couple of years ahead of you is now doing the thing you want to do. Reach out. The last place that I want you thinking about looking is the internet. And I know you're probably thinking, Alice, of course the internet. I found this on the internet. I know. But here's the thing. As a law student, you have access to some very powerful search tools. I'm talking scarily powerful. And as a law student, you have fairly unlimited access. Utilize it. If you read a case, probably not in a first year class, those cases are pretty old, but in your second and third year classes, if you are reading a recent case that is super interesting to you and is right on point for what it is you are interested in doing, there is a very real chance you have the capability to find out who the attorneys involved were and where they happen to be right now. If not direct contact information, you can at least get to their firm front desk or a secretary or an assistant and they can connect you. You have access to databases that can find that information. Use it. The other thing that you have access to, and this is a product of the last couple of years more than anything else, is conference information and seminar information. So many of those things that we as professionals consider professional development, continuing education, whatever it is you want to call it, much of that, out of necessity, has started to live online. And with the advent of these things living online, the cost is sometimes reduced or gone entirely, particularly if you are a student. Lots of places want to share information about whatever it is that they are passionate about as an organization, as an industry, as a whatever. They can make that available to you for free, because the cost to put on something like this virtually is significantly less than it is to put on in person. And like I said, nobody particularly wanted to do this, but we had to. And so now all of that is there for you. You just have to go find it. The last thing, kind of in the same vein, is professional organizations. This may also fall into lean on your network, but I'm putting it up here. As an attorney, there are a variety of professional organizations that you can join. What no one may have told you yet, although hopefully they have, is that you can also join a lot of these as a student. There is a student section of the American Bar Association. Most state bars have a young lawyer section, have a law student association associated with it. You have access to these things as a law student. Use them, particularly the organizations that are interest area based. If you are super interested in doing environmental law, you go find whether or not the National Resources Defense Council has a law student division. If you're interested in working in civil and human rights, I know for a fact the ACLU has a law student division. All of those things will give you access to people that can tell you about what it is. They will give you first crack at jobs a lot of the time. So not only are you joining a network of people that will be helpful, you're joining an organization that can teach you things, that can connect you to jobs, that can make sure that you are up to date on all of the things that are relevant for the area of law that you are interested in. The easiest place to find these is the internet. The other place that the internet comes in handy, and this is exactly in the same vein, if you are interested in animal rights law, but your school doesn't have a student organization dedicated to that, you're not sure there's enough interest across the student body to start your own student organization, see if there's a national group, see if there's a regional group. If you happen to have another law school that is geographically close, see about getting involved with their student group. Those rules differ school to school. You may not want to do it, totally fine, but that's an option if the organization for the interest area that you are interested does not exist in your school. You can find it, and you can typically find it on the internet. We have covered a couple of different resources that will hopefully point you in the right direction for figuring out not only what it is you'll do day to day in the area of law that you're interested in, but also how to find those jobs, what people you should talk to, what places you should look. At the end of the day, a lot of it boils down to lean on your network, build your network, use the people that you are connected to in a good way, not using people meanly, but you've built these relationships, take advantage of the things that come with them. Ideally, because it's an area of law that you are interested in, the people that you'll meet through this are people that you're going to be interested in knowing. So let them help you when they offer. Take advantage of the fact that they know people that you don't, that they know things that you don't. But just to get specific before we wrap up, the first place you need to look is your career services office. They are great. The second place is your professors. Also great. Also very excited to help you. The third place is your student organization and your alumni network. Fourth place, the internet. All of these are helpful. Use whatever feels most comfortable to you. Honestly, if you want, talk to an admissions officer. You connected with one of them on your journey in, they may know where to point you if this isn't enough. But you've got some pretty good options up to now, so hopefully this will get you started. If this video is helpful, like and subscribe down below, share it with a friend. Talk soon.